Should you AI your resume? So in our sister publication, AIdaily.us, which is breaking news in AI curated by humans, there was a report that a number of Gen Z folks were actually using AI to do up their resumes. Now, if you ask me, that's a horrible idea. Horrible idea on many, many fronts. Because first of all, I mean, what is a resume after all? A resume is all about you. And if anything, an AI knows nothing about you. It might know a lot about generally what humanity has done, but it knows very little about you. I mean, it might be able to help you rephrase things in a better way. It might be able to help you say things to improve your chances of getting a job, but it doesn't really know anything about you. So I think it's a bad idea to use AI on a resume. And the thing is that you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what about job descriptions? I bet you a lot of job descriptions are AI. See, AI is seeping in to our world through a lot of avenues where people are just doing it because they can, right? I mean, there could be all sorts of corporate edicts saying do not use AI in job descriptions. Do not use AI in marketing copy. Do not use AI. I'm sure all these things have come down from on high to tell people don't use AI. Write it yourself. But it is just so easy and simple for people to just go to ChatGPT and ask it to do something. And of course, they could just as easily put in proprietary corporate information into the chat bot, which of course they shouldn't. Nobody should do that. And get a response. It's just so easy to do that. It's so easy. But the problem is not AI job descriptions or AI resumes. The whole problem is that the entire work, talent, hiring process needs to be disrupted. Resumes, job descriptions, interviews, all of those things need to be blown up and innovated. They need to be disrupted across the board. And I've talked about this with education. I've talked about this with a lot of things. Work itself needs to be disrupted, but the actual process of finding work, connecting an employer with a prospective employee is outdated and antiquated. The systems of creating a resume, the system of creating a job description, the systems of matching job descriptions with resumes, the whole interview process does not at all indicate how an employee, how a prospective employee would be able to work on the job in a job. It's a false scenario. Resumes are falsified by AI or embellished by the employee or the prospective employee. Job descriptions are falsified or embellished by the corporation. So the fact that these actually ever match is unbelievable. And then when they do match, you have job interviews. And in the interview process, you have false narratives, false connection, false communication between individuals, because people are putting up fronts for interviews on both sides, because the employer is probably making their job sound better to try and bring in employees, and the prospective employee is trying to make themselves look better for the prospective employer. It's a fake situation. It's a false situation. And there is no connection between all of this falsity and what the individual will be like actually on the job. So if you ask me, the only thing we can do is go back to an apprenticeship model. And we have to figure out some way of creating an apprenticeship model which works for everyone. Now, a lot of rules have been put in place by various governments to keep these types of models from working or being able to be accessed or used at all. Because if you ask me, the only way you'll be able to know if somebody is going to be good in a role is to actually put them in that role and let them do the job. The same kind of thing you would do as a carpenter, as a construction worker, as a physical blue-collar job, except in white-collar work. There's got to be some way that we can come up with a solution where individuals are, maybe you can still have a little bit of a resume and a little bit of a job description so that at least it checks off some of the boxes of criteria that you've already done. But then get the person in. Have them work. Understand the job, and then maybe after 2 weeks or a month or some certain amount of time, instead of having this front-loaded procedure where you have a month to look through this and a month to look through that and a month to do resumes, 4 months later, you finally bring somebody on board and then you realize this is the wrong person or they ghost you. Bring them in right away. Do some light screening. Figure out this person is personable, this person is friendly, this person is a good fit. Get them on the job. Give them stuff to do. Have them do stuff. And then, after a couple weeks, reassess. Sit down with the prospective employee or the apprentice and go, what do you think? Do you want to keep working here? We want to keep you. We don't want to keep you. If we don't want to keep you, you're gone. We still pay you for those 2 weeks, but you know what? It didn't work out. Either party can say, I'm out of here at no penalty to anyone. And then you move on to the next person. And you could even do this with a bunch of people all at once. Bring them all in as apprentices at one point and go, you know what? Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. If we did this, any job issues that we would have, any unemployment issues would disappear like that. We need to bring back the apprenticeship model across the board for every single role. Let's do this. Let's blow up the old system that clearly doesn't work anymore. If I have to use AI to create a resume that will entice somebody or some search engine to pick me, then something is definitely wrong. Let's blow it up. Let's start again. Let's use the apprenticeship model everywhere. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.